Hello everyone. So this is a map of the current country of Jordan. As you can see, this is Jordan. So this is the Palestinian territory right now. It's the West Bank Palestinian territory. However, keep in mind, in the old days, was called Judea. And then here also in Jordan, I want you to pay attention to Amman. This is the capital of Jordan. So Amman is the city that is the capital of current day Jordan. Okay, this is another map. It's an ancient map of the region. As you can see, this is Israel. Back then you had the northern kingdom of Israel, which was this northern kingdom of Israel and you had the southern kingdom, which was basically Judea. This is the country of Jordan right now, but back then in the old days there were three separate kingdoms. There was kingdom of Ammon. So this is number one. This is the kingdom number one, kingdom of Ammon. You had the kingdom of Moab, number two, and then you have the kingdom of Edom, or these were the Edomite, and Petra was part of Edom, or the Edomites. Okay, so this is verse from chapter 11, verse number 40 of the book of Daniel. And at the time of the end, so right off the bat, it's giving you the address that this is at the time of the end. This is about the end times. Shall the king of the south contend with him, and the king of the north, very powerful northern country that starts attacking a southern, the king of the south like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horsemen and with many ships. So it's huge military equipment. So remember, Prophet Daniel at this point, it's about 500 BC. Prophet Daniel, 500 years before Christ, is prophesying about end times. So they don't know about airplanes. They don't know about our military equipments. So you have to put yourself in the shoes of that prophet when he's prophesying. He's prophesying at that time about the future event. So things are translated into that prophet's language, into what they are knowledgeable about. They don't know about computers. They don't know about robots. They don't know about missiles. So he's talking about basically very advanced military equipments and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries. Basically, they will conquer many countries. This is what we call World War III. If you read the Quran, it's very clear. Allah's mathematical signature is 2 + 1 = 3. So there's always 2. There's a final 1. So we have had 2 of these world wars so far. So 1 is outstanding. And he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass through. He shall enter also into the glorious land. So whenever the prophet is talking about the glorious land, here is talking about what is known as Israel, or Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa, the Holy Land. So, and many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall be delivered out of his hand. So basically it's saying that all the countries will fall. They will be overthrown, except for one country in that region. It says Edom, number 1, Moab, number 2, and the chief of the children of Ammon, number 3. So 3 countries, 3 nations: Edomites, Moabites, and Ammonites. So again, remember, prophet is in 500 BC. Prophet Daniel is prophesying for a future end time that I showed to you here. From when? From 500 years before Christ. So there was no country of Jordan. But he's pointing out that territory that I showed to you. So this is the map that I shared with you, right? So number 1 was Edom. And then number 2, he mentioned Moab. And then number 3, he mentioned Ammon. But when it came to Ammon, or Ammonites, kingdom of Ammonites, he used the word chief or leaders. Why do you think that is? So Prophet Daniel is telling us in his book that these 3 territories are going to be combined, but the leader of them, the chief of them, are going to be the children of Ammon. So the Ammonites are going to be the leader, the chief. And if you look at it today in the country of Jordan, what do you have? Its capital. Its capital is Ammon. So who is the chief in this territory right now? Who are the leaders of this territory right now? It's the chief children of Ammon, leaders, Ammonite leaders. So Prophet Daniel not only is telling us that the country of Jordan, it's going to be a safe sanctuary in the end times, it is also telling us that its capital is going to be Ammon, just like it is. So let's go back to the prophecy. But he shall have, this country, the king of the north, this northern country, shall have power over the treasures of gold and of silver and over all precious things of Egypt. So they will have full control over the economy of the world at that time. Full control. This northern kingdom shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly to sweep away many. But Prophet Daniel says that yet he shall come to his end, none shall help him. So no one knows when these things are going to happen, that the country of Jordan will stay. And Ammon, the city of Ammon, will stay as its capital during those times, and it will be safe from this war. So Allah will not allow the armies of the king of the north enter and occupy and overthrow the country of Jordan. This is the map of the current day Jordan. You see the chief. What is the chief? Is Ammon or Ammonites. You have the Moabites here, and obviously you have the Edomite. And where is Petra? Petra is right here. You have Petra here as well. The clue that everyone is missing is the city of Petra. That's the original Mecca. That's Mecca. People used to go and perform pilgrimage to Petra before the temple in Jerusalem was built by Solomon. The country of Jordan will be the epicenter of faith and true belief in the end times. But true believers in the end time will take refuge in Jordan. Why? Because the king of that country of the north, that powerful country, will not be able to overthrow it, because Allah will protect it. But how do I know that Allah will protect it? Okay, so this is Isaiah 63. It says, who is this coming from Edom? So I just shared with you where Edom is South Jordan, Petra, that's considered Edom. So it's talking about again Jordan. From Bozrah, with his garments stained crimson or red. So what is Bozrah? Bozrah means sheepfold. So that's what it means. And if you look at Petra, because of the folds, another name of the city of Petra over there in Edom that was known at this time when Prophet Isaiah was prophesying as Bozrah. So then he says, who is this? Robed in splendor, striding forward in the greatness of his strength. It is I, proclaiming victory, mighty to save. It says, why are your garments red like those of one treading the winepress? It says, I have trodden the winepress alone. From the nations no one was with me. So I trampled them in my anger and trod them down in my wrath. Their blood spattered my garments and I stained all my clothing. It was for me the day of vengeance. The year for me to redeem or save had come. I looked, but there was no one to help. I was appalled that no one gave support. So my own arm achieved salvation for me, and my own wrath sustained me. I trampled the nations again. In my anger, in my wrath, I made them drunk and poured their blood on the ground. So again, this chapter, these verses are talking about the Third World War, which is going to be a huge war at the end times. They're talking about that. All the nations will gather together against the true believers. All the nations against the community of the true believers, community of the elect. All the nations, they will all gather against the true believers to destroy them. And where are the true believers here? They are in Jordan. This is the only country that has not been conquered. The only country that has not been overthrown. But at this point, our God, our Creator, comes to the rescue of the community of the believers that is taking refuge, taking shelter in the current country of Jordan. God, our Creator, comes from Edom, again, specifies here for us so we don't make that any mistakes, from Edom, South Jordan, from Bozrah, which again is Petra, and comes here, comes out, defends them, defeats the nations, destroys them, and make the elect, make the community of the true believers victorious. And Quran tells us the exact same thing. What does Quran say? It says, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ. It means when Allah's help and the victory comes. So again, this is the exact same thing. Allah is proclaiming the victory, mighty to save. And Allah says nobody was able to help. So there was no one that could help the community of the elect that is taking shared shelter in Jordan and in Petra at this point, except for Allah. So Allah alone, our Creator alone, comes and helps them and defeats the nations, the United Nations, and all their armies. I looked, but there was no one to help. And this is exactly what the Quran tells us as well. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ. It means when Allah's help, when God's help and victory comes. وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. And you will see mankind entering into the true religion of God in group. Then it says, فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِهِ. Then praise and glorify your Lord. Peace and blessings to all of you.